Assalamu alaikum, what's happening? That Muslim dude here, putting up this video about people's rights, mainly civil rights. They're being eroded and taken away by distractions, unimportant distractions, distractions that are not true. I mean, things about being distracted about things that are not true, like such as Muslims are, terrorists, and that we're out to do something, or terrorists are out to come and get us and destroy the country. As people, like, especially after 9/11, mainly after 9/11, that's when the ball started rolling. When people were in anger and first in anger and in fear, various laws were able to be passed, and we were led into war with Afghan and Iraq war, and now we've got ourselves in some situations, some messes, because we got distracted as Americans, and we let stuff go by us, and we didn't check things out that they said that were supposedly for our protection or for us, and we didn't check out the laws and the different bills that they passed, and we didn't check them out thoroughly, and we let them pass them, and they passed the Patriot Act. That's just like a beehive waiting to be opened up, and so various rights that we have are being either eroded or taken away or changed. And so basically what America was supposed to be founded on, that will be pretty soon, will be like almost non-existent. It'll be like, that'll just be nothing but something that you throw in a museum, and it won't be much in practice, because a lot of laws and bills that were passed, they led people to believe, those many who weren't Muslim, that these laws being passed, or those who were in fear, these laws being passed, for these Muslims or these terrorists out there, which time to translate into Muslims anyway. These laws being passed to protect you from them. But what people didn't understand was, when they either voted for these bills or let them be passed, that this was not only for those a certain group, which was mainly for Muslims. It's kind of like a test thing. It was like, we'll test it out, and we see how it works, and a lot of time it works, and so we'll use it for everybody else. And because most people are like, oh, that's not true. If that's not true, then what happened over the years? Found out about the wiretapping scandals and whatnot, and how the different phone companies were wiretapping everybody's phone. I mean, they weren't just wiretapping Muslims; they were wiretapping whoever you were. It didn't matter if you were just an upstanding citizen. They were wiretapping your phone, and that happened because certain laws were passed with the Patriot Act and whatnot that allowed them to do that. But people allowed it to be passed because it's like, well, because they were in fear at the time. They were like, well, let it be passed. These people, we got to watch these people. We got to, can't trust them. Now, like when I heard on the news yesterday, I was on the news, I think it was CNN, where supposedly people who work in utility companies or jobs, that the FBI, or basically FBI or NSA, or one of those groups, Homeland Security, said basically like the terrorists, they might be trying to terrorist attack through those type of companies, and that those people that work there, doesn't matter what their religion or affiliation may be, if they're angry workers that may not work like their job, or just whatnot, terrorists might use them to commit terrorist acts through those type of jobs. I mean through those type of jobs and whatnot, and use them for certain things, and that kind of scares people even more. But if you look at it, it's like what they're saying is that now they're not usually terrorists mainly means Muslims. I mean, can't think of anybody else who's a quote a serious terrorist right now. And what they're saying is those who are angry, who may not like their jobs, or because a lot of people have been dissenting, they've been angry, protesting about how they've been treated on jobs and whatnot. So those who are angry or may say something about their job that they don't like, just because it's normal, your job is actually mistreating you, or doing stuff that's illegal. If you try to say something about it, they'll be like, well, okay, well, you're working with terrorists, then they'll either lock you up, lose your job, or they'll come and question you about it. Why are you acting this way? Or why are you doing this? Before, that was just only resigned to Muslims. Now it's resigned to everybody. So what I'm trying to say is basically, if Americans and people don't wake up and try to vote and be more understanding of what bills are being passed and look at them and read them and understand them, and not just also a Muslim but anybody, and we just readily just let certain things go by us because we're in fear of something, and they tell us that they're here to protect us, which is not always true, because in the past, in the history, against whether it had to do with anybody, a lot of times the authority, they weren't always there to protect people, and a lot of times those who protect you, they need a check and balance themselves, and those in the FBI and whatnot, a lot of times, like with the Whitey Bulger case, like, they're supposed to protect people and protect us against people like him, and a lot of times they were in cahoots with him, being paid by him. So we gotta, as Americans, keep an eye on the ball and not be deluded by a stupid thing like Lindsay Lohan and stuff that's not really helping us, because as we have done so, certain laws have been passed, financial crises have happened, certain things that just help bring in the American viewpoint around the world is being brought down, and how we treat each other is getting worse, and our rights and civil rights that we have are being thrown away and are being eroded and changed, because those overseas, like in Europe mainly, they let their rights be taken away by being in fear, being told they had to watch out for the Muslims or a certain group, and now stuff that normally was free or stuff that they normally that they got paid for or whatnot, mostly is changing. Their economies have gone down the drain because certain laws were passed. Their rights have been taken away. Their jobs can be taken away at any moment, any point in time. They no longer don't have rights. School, it's harder for them to get into school or whatnot. So we have to be more observant and keep an eye on the ball, which is our civil rights, because other countries didn't do so, and you can see what's happening to them, and the same thing's happening here. But we gotta try to follow what try to use what the Constitution said, and basically use our brains and acquire knowledge, and do stuff in non-violent fashion, but put our minds and our say-so into it. Vote and speak up, and don't let ourselves be distracted by stupid stuff, basically. All right, that Muslim dude out. Peace.